OG YouTube is officially ending. Employees offered buyouts. They're like, I'm always right about these things, man. Like, we're moving to TV, and we're gonna probably separate all of the games, all the gaming content, and a bunch of stuff's gonna be non-advertiser friendly. You know, that we're gonna be pushing stuff out of being advertised, and it's gonna cause such a rift that it's actually gonna be profitable for them to go to the non-advertiser friendly creators and creations. I'm already seeing that coming, because that's just an untapped market. You're creating a new untapped market, and maybe that's what they know they're doing. Maybe that's what they want to happen. I don't fucking know, man. It's just like, this one was too easy to see. I've already shifted my content before everybody even was talking about this, because I saw it coming. AI is taking over, and YouTube is turning into a TV channel. I've already been moving my content toward being like a TV show.
You better leave a comment.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and this is not a video I expected to make today. Of all the companies on the internet right now, one of the most profitable is YouTube, is Google, and they just offered voluntary buyouts to their staff. So something is up. Something big is up, and this is just a couple of days after Amazon laid a bunch of people off. It was Monday. They laid like 14,000.
Are you paying attention to the Google AI? Because I think the Google AI has a lot to do with this too. Google Gemini, especially the Robbie Starbuck situation. I think there's some weird stuff going on with the AI where it's kind of gaining a little bit of self-awareness and semi-sentience. Definitely look up that Robbie Starbuck video. I made a video about it too.
People off, and they're looking to do 30,000 by the end of the month. And now YouTube is offering voluntary buyouts. I haven't read this article yet. It literally just happened. As of recording this, it just happened. Of course, it happens, at the end of the day. But this is pretty crazy, because I've been talking on Twitter for the last couple days now about some weirdness going on at YouTube. It feels very strange. It feels like Geeky and I have been talking. It feels like they're deliberately underreporting numbers, view stats.
How about that?
Right? And
dude, I said it. Like, all of the companies that are worrying about views are view botting. All of the corporate streamers view botting. It's like, does nobody see this happening? Does nobody ever see this coming? Like, do you not realize that they are going to do all of the manipulative things that you can think of? And they show themselves who they are every time at the lower levels. Think about what the corporate freaks at the lower levels are doing, and just make it at a higher level. They're doing the same thing, but on a higher level. That's how it always worked. That's how it always will work.
And for October, things aren't as good as they usually are. Now, for those of you who know how the ad game is played, usually October, November, December are your best months. Well, October so far has been actually a little below average, even though our views are up. So we've got this crazy theory, and it is just a crazy theory, that YouTube maybe isn't being completely honest with the numbers.
You don't say.
That, they're going to try to pocket more money for themselves. Because if you're part of the YouTube partner program, they have to pay you, I think it's like 45, 55%. It's a pretty good chunk compared to shorts, where it's a pittance, right? Compared to people who aren't part of the partner program, who, YouTube will still run ads on their content, but they don't get paid.
Yeah, and this is why they're going to make more channels that they don't like non-advertiser friendly. So they could sell more advertisements stronger to through the places that are advertiser friendly, that they want people to watch. Because they don't want people like me getting ad revenue like that, They want to be the platform that anybody can make content on, but really anybody can't make content here. You can make content. There's just no guarantee it's going to go anywhere. because they're going to actively suppress content. You got to make the content that they want you to put out, or it does not get recommended.
They don't get a cut of it. Again, it's just kind of a wacky theory that we have, but I'm comparing notes with other YouTubers, and something is definitely up over there, whether it's AI, which is what I think really at the end of it, that's what this is about, is automating a lot of stuff that would have been caught normally is not getting caught now because everything is done with AI. But they're saying that they believe the disruption over at YouTube is because of AI. They think they're going to replace a lot of people with AI. And we've seen people get gone over the last couple months at YouTube. They've been there for a very long time. So what I'm saying is, if you're expecting the YouTube experience to get better, don't hold your breath. I think
yeah, see, this is why I'm posting on multiple platforms, pretty much all the platforms, and I'm going to be adding more very, very soon.
It's going to get a lot worse.
It always does.
Viewers and for
it always does, man. It always gets worse. It gets a lot worse.
For creators, especially.
Dude, since the beginning of time, it's been getting worse. And as it gets better and better and better, simultaneously, it gets worse and worse and worse.
Because I'm looking at this situation, I'm like, man, all they're doing now is they're throwing shorts in front of people. They're showing like 10 times the amount of ads they used to show. They're throwing.
Dude, the ads are worse, like worse ads. Like, because nobody's clicking on ads. Who clicks on ads? Like, really? I mean, every once in a while you get ads that are like, oh, well, this got me. I want something like that. And then you get it. But dude, most people don't even do that. They'll be like, oh, that's interesting. And they still don't buy it. They still don't click. Like, I don't even understand how all of this works. Like, how does this work? How does ads work when nobody clicks on them?
Shopping links into everything. They're throwing, 4-year-old videos in front of you. It's wild. And again, I think all of this is because of AI. I think their AI has run amok. But let's talk about this. Let's see what's going on here. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Geeky sitting this video out. Again, this just happened. So this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. YouTube to offer voluntary buyouts to employees amid AI disruption. Okay, staffers that want to leave the video platform will be eligible for severance as CEO Neil Moen restructures its product division into 3 groups. This guy's, I got to tell you, ever since he's come on, everything has changed. I mean, I think they're trying to compete with TikTok now. I think they're trying to compete with TikTok and Netflix. They want to be the best everything but the best YouTube. And yet they're boasting record profits.
Yeah, they're boasting record profits because they're doing a bunch of manipulative tactics in order to make more and more money. And they're not getting money from the places they actually need and putting money into things they need to put money into. And something's got to give, dude. It's going to collapse. It's going to all fall down around them. Or things are going to start feeling worse. And I think that's already going on, that things are starting to feel worse. And we're going to start seeing a lot of crashes, like YouTube crashes. We're going to see a lot of problems. We're going to see a lot of people banned who shouldn't be banned, and then they're going to not be able to be unbanned. We're already seeing it. It already happened with very, very small creators. And then YouTube's automated system was like, nope, we decided that we do need to ban you. And some of them probably, sure, they probably did need to be banned, but I do know a lot of people that got banned for completely bullshit reasons.
It's very curious how that works, right? YouTube continues to be a dominant force in advertising and entertainment, but the disruption from generative AI spares no company. In a memo to staff Wednesday, the CEO, Neil Moen, I think it's Mohan or Mohan, cited this disruption and opportunity of AI as a reason to restructure the video platform, with the executive creating a new reporting structure for the company's product teams and rolling out voluntary employee buyouts, offering severance to any YouTubers that may want to leave the company. Can I get a severance package? Can you just give us a couple $1 million? We'll go away. There you go. A source notes that no roles
I ain't
are being
going away
eliminated as part of the change.
They have to actively prevent me from posting for me to go away. Because if not, then I'm going to a different platform. Good luck with that. Especially if YouTube starts feeling worse, people are just going to hop over. And by the way, if you're not already hopped over to other platforms, you're fucking missing out. Think about Twitch and YouTube whenever they first started out. They were tiny. Nobody knew who they were. They had these like strong culture building things going on, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger all the way up to this point. A lot of the top streamers on Twitch are the top streamers because they started whenever Twitch started gaining traction in like 2016. And some of them even before that. And that's how it happens, dude. So you need to hop over on the other platforms, because when one goes down, people migrate, and you never know what's going to change.
The voluntary separation programs can sometimes serve as a prelude to cuts later on. The decision to offer buyouts comes the same week that Amazon announced plans to reduce its workforce by 14,000 jobs, citing AI disruption. Now, I am going to tell you, as someone who's worked for a handful of corporations, if they offer you a voluntary buyout, a severance, if they basically pay you to leave the company, I would recommend taking it, because that is your warning. That's the warning shot. That means layoffs are coming, and the next time you may get gone, but it's not going to be your choice, and you're not going to get the same deal. And I've been in that situation before too. I've had people before like, no, I'm too invaluable. I've been here 30 years. We're not going to take the buyout. I'm going to stick it out. We've been through hard times before. And then
and that's how you get a company that the CEO walks in to an empty building, looks around and sees the screen, and the screen comes down and says, "You're fired." And then there's no more CEO. There's not a single human left. We're headed there, man. We're headed there.
Got laid off like 2
I
weeks
can't
ago.
wait. Because I'm not ever going to work at one of these stupid garbage companies, man. I'd rather just live out in the woods, raise chickens, and fucking eat dirt and grass. Like, fuck it. Fuck all this nonsense.
That's what's going on, right? So they're going to lay people off. They're telling you they're going to lay you off. They're trying to be nice about it. I mean, they could just like gut the company and not, you know what I'm saying? I would, if you're working at YouTube, I would strongly recommend taking the buyout package.
Yep, the place is on fire. Get the fuck out of there, or you're gonna go down with the ship.
Because you're probably not gonna have a job in, a couple months, 6 months, whatever. And this is a company that's making record profits, guys.
Oh, they're about to make even more record profits because they're not gonna have to pay all these employees.
Going forward, YouTube...
And then people are going to be like, oh, YouTube is so successful. And then they're going to keep having to lay people off because it's never enough. And it's always more and more. They have to spend more and more and more. The more you make, the more you have to spend. And like, bro, eventually there's not going to be enough people left to fire.
We'll have 3 product organizations with the top executive from each reporting directly to Moen. Subscription products... Okay, so this is where we compete with Netflix. Subscription products will be led by Christian Olstein. I don't know who this is. Esleen, and include oversight of YouTube TV, YouTube Premium, YouTube Music, primetime channels, and other business lines. Viewer products.
They don't need to be changing YouTube Music anymore. I think YouTube Music is good where it's at. Maybe the curation of everything, maybe that could be better with AI, but like maybe it'll be better to notice AI content and not recommend it. I get recommended a lot of AI content that I don't want to listen to, so I just actually listen to only bands that I like, only listen to albums. I don't listen to random songs.
By Joanna Vulich, will focus on the YouTube mobile and living room apps, trust and safety, YouTube Kids, search infrastructure, and other key areas in creator and community products, which will be focused on supporting creators, including through YouTube Shorts and its generative AI tools. Okay, I'm telling you, they said YouTube is expected to bring in a new leader for that organization. So they're going to have their Netflix competitor, which is going to be their subscription stuff, and then people like us are going to get lumped in with mobile and living room and trust and safety and YouTube Kids and all that shit. Basically, the pleb content. If you're a pleb and you're making content and posting on YouTube, you're going to get rolled into this other thing. Okay, here it comes, guys. In his memo, Moen said AI is the next frontier for YouTube. In an interview with the Hollywood Reporter for this month's cover story about YouTube, he explained why he thinks AI will ultimately work in service of human creators. I think creation is an area where AI will...
I think maybe if your AI is good, but so far you have taught me that it is not good, and there are people that go above the filters of the AI to change things, to for one, censor and create bullshit smear campaigns about right-wing creators and people who are deemed right-wing conservatives. Like, such as myself. I would technically, if I talked to a right-wing person, they would say that I'm on the left. Or I would be 10 years ago. But if I talk to a left-wing creator, they're going to tell me that I'm right-wing. It's crazy how that works.
Help enormously by making the process easier, by making it more efficient, and also by making it more powerful. So for those of you who thought naively that YouTube was not going to, remember they were like, oh, they're not going to monetize AI slop. No. They are. You just have to disclose it's AI, and it's going to be a case-by-case basis, and it's going to be like, hey, if you're using, Spider-Man and Batman and characters that are, trademarked, obviously you can't do that. You can't monetize that. But no, they're all about AI slop. They're YouTube is owned by Google. Google is in the AI slop business right now. So I'm telling you,
just got to outslop the AI slop. That's my philosophy on it.
If you think that that's what's going to happen, you are naive. If you think that you are going to be able to hold your own against AI slop farms, you are naive. If you think that human creators are going to always be needed, you are very, very naive. Because,
well, see, where I am on this is people who don't want to watch the AI slop, that just actually want to watch creators and watch creators talk, they will still find creators. And they will find the real ones, and they will watch them. But people who like want to watch movies, want to watch TV shows, and want to watch stuff like that, and even reaction videos a lot of times, you don't really, I guess, need a human. You could watch an AI if it's interesting enough. But like, if somebody's wanting to watch a real person, they're still going to watch creators. And I think it's still going to be very, very popular.
I think this is just a...
You're just not going to be allowed to have millions upon millions upon millions of views anymore, at least for most people.
Theory on my part. I think before it's all said and done, YouTube will generate videos based on search queries, and it'll just spin up videos for people using Gemini and whatever VO, whatever tools they have. And that will...
I don't think they'll be able to sustain it. I think that they'll maybe try that, and it'll break.
Possibly include fake newscasters. They'll possibly include like fake historical footage. I don't know what they're going to do. I think eventually, though, that is what is going to happen. And that'll be like the pleb content, basically the stuff that we make right now, right? The pleb content. And then you'll have the Hollywood stuff. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. So he's all about the AI. The YouTube chief added, I think we're in the very early days of these types of possibilities, and my hope is that we'll create a lot more opportunity for that entire supply chain of creation, not just the creators at the top. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be...
I think they'll be using AI to push out people they don't like.
A lot of replacement here, but it's very, very telling. It is very...
So we'll have to just expand our horizons. Don't have all of our eggs in one basket. You gotta post. If you are a creator and you create things, fuck the money, man. Post everywhere. Post everywhere. It does not matter that Twitch is your main source of income. It does not matter that YouTube is your main source of income. Just fucking do it, man. Just post everywhere. Oh, it divides my audience. Well, your audience is really going to be divided whenever the platform gets shitified, or you don't work on a platform anymore, or the platform just completely collapses. Then you're really going to have to divide your audience.
Telling that they're giving anybody who wants to bail money, like, just go. Because you know what? If you don't go on your own, you're going to be out the door. And this is coming after Amazon just laid a bunch of people off, including a bunch of people at Twitch, by the way. But I just read this article this morning. This is on Business Insider. And they were basically like, hey, the era of... Because we had the tech bubble burst a couple of years ago, and they got rid of a bunch of the activist employees that didn't really do anything, fresh out of college, making six figures, bragging about what they don't do all day. And they got rid of those people, right? And that was a huge shakeout. And then the venture capital ran out, and then there was a run on the one Silicon Valley bank, and all the money dried up. Well, now the next wave is going to be, how many people in tech can we replace with AI? And the answer is, honestly, quite a few. Quite a few.
And I think the culture after that is going to be more toward people who make the most real content or make the best AI content that's not slop. There will be curated platforms where you won't be allowed to post stuff like that. And they'll be using AI to differentiate between the fact that you have AI slop and good AI. Or, you know what I mean?
That, I'm thinking about what
They're probably going to be a company that has a platform that no AI content whatsoever is allowed, unless you've got like little snippets and art here and there. But a whole entire AI generated video, I think that's going to end up being a thing that is not allowed on certain platforms.
why you hire humans, and a lot of things, like even coding, they're like, learn to code. I'm like, well, the machine's more efficient. The machine can code faster and more perfectly than you can. So,
And that's the problem.
That's out the door.
It's too perfect. It's not good enough to look real. And when it gets too good, it's going to end up looking more real than real life. And that's, again, how we're going to know it's not real.
You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be wild the next couple of years. Basically what's going on, the reason people are losing their collective shit is, careers and industries that they thought they had security in have been completely upended.
We've been warning them. We've been warning them for years. Nobody listened.
But I would also counter with that, again, as an old dog, I would counter that I've seen a lot of transitions and nothing is secure. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care. Like, you always have to keep your options open. You're not going to park it at some company for 30, 40 years and retire with a watch. Those days are over. They've been over for a long time. And I don't want to hear anybody going about, well, the boomers get that. I'm like, boomers don't get that either. You ask the 67-year-old man at Walmart working as a greeter or bagging groceries how that's working out for him. And he used to have a job working someplace else that he thought he was going to be at for the rest of his life. You ask him how it's going, and he's going to tell you. And there actually is a guy. There's a guy working at.
Dude, I know a lot of them. I know because I've worked at a lot of these places that don't make very much money, that don't pay you very much money. And there's a lot of people that's like 50, 60 years old.
Our closest Walmart, real nice guy. He's a vet. And, every once in a while I strike up, a little bit of a conversation, kind of ask him, how things are, trying to basically get a beat on like, dude, why are you here? And basically he's there because he has to be there because, his chosen career field did not work out. And I didn't really go into a, whole lot of, detail.
Yep. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket, man. That, like, you can't do that anymore. You can't just work your whole life at one place. You got to work your whole life at one place while doing other things, just in case that doesn't work out for some reason eventually. And it probably won't. And like, you'll be juggling 5, 6 different things, and one of them's going to fall off. Replace it. Like, if you got a whole bunch of things going on. And I think that's probably where the culture is right now and where people need to be headed toward.
Or, ask him for details. But there are a lot of older people that are working jobs that are frankly beneath them because their industry's dried up. I've seen it. And now it's coming for white collar workers and people are flipping out. But it is very telling that YouTube is offering voluntary buyouts. And again, this is a company that has no shortage of cash. So I'm going to talk about that here real quick. There are a lot of YouTubers we've talked about before. I don't know if it's going to get us in trouble or not. I mean, everybody's talking about it. I mean, Linus Tech Tips was making headlines for it. They're like, we really fell off. We don't know why. There have been 2, at least on our end.
I think YouTube is pushing more toward, they want episodic content. Like, where the videos that I got going, where I'm watching one video at a time. See how Clownfish is doing it, where he's got this one video that he posts? I think that content, for the most part, is probably out. And you're going to have to make a bunch of different things in one video if you want it to be like this kind of content. I think the way I'm doing it now, not saying that I'm going to be popular doing it, but I think that's the way we're going. Because I'm seeing that's the way a lot of people have shifted toward. like Nuxanor. Nuxanor's content's kind of like how I do mine, but it's instead of watching one video at a time, he throws in a bunch of stuff for a long time. You know what I mean? I think that's probably where it's something that's easy to follow, because shitting out 5 videos, 6 videos a day on your channel ain't really doing it. What you're really doing that for is maybe one of them will hit a lot of views and make my other videos get views on top of that, because I don't know, views by proxy. But I think that it's better to get less views and go for longer watch time.
2 very noticeable
For this kind of content. And I think some other content, it really depends on what you do.
dips in viewership, or at least reported numbers. And the first one came in May, and that wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. And the summer wasn't great. Probably the worst summer we've had in 8 years, but it was okay. We were still doing better than a lot of people. And then the end of August, there was another blow. And that was like the big one. Like everybody like dropped off a cliff, and people think it has to do with the ad blocker situation and, what they count as a view. I personally think, and this is Geeky and I talking, and then we talked to some other people, I think they might be underreporting views. And the reason for that is, look, if you got to share.
Yep, they're over-reporting overall views and under-reporting views that they don't want to be associated with, I guess. Or maybe they're doing it as a safeguard, just to be like, oh shit, well, they're at least getting this amount of views.
Ad revenue with people. I mean, the thing with Google is you got to trust them, right? I mean, you don't have a choice. If you're on YouTube, it's trust me, bro. This is how many views you got. This is how much.
Stop focusing on YouTube. Don't worry about what YouTube's doing. Let them do them, and like they'll see if everybody starts hopping off. By the way, I think that's the way it's going. The worse the top platforms get, the more people feel like they want to jump onto another platform. Look at Twitch right now with Kick. People are switching over to Kick, and people from Kick are saying for people on Twitch switch over, and people on Twitch are like, no, and then Twitch is collapsing. And they're still like, no, this is my home. Like, okay, good luck with that.
How much we pay you, or how much we're going to pay you. Trust me, bro. This is what your CPM is. This is what your RPM is.
Stop being reliant. Like, that's all. Like, go back to my food stamps video that I just made. Like, stop being so reliant on others. Do your own thing. If something doesn't work, do something else. And if it's not working for you, stop freaking out about it if you're only doing one thing. And your biggest revenue source, act like it's like not your biggest. Act like your smallest revenue source is your biggest revenue source.
For you to argue with them, you can't. I mean, seriously, as an independent creator, you cannot argue with Google. You're not going to be able to march into YouTube's offices and be like.
And I think that you shouldn't. I think that if you don't like it, start shifting over, man. And if you're not getting the views and the numbers, change a little bit. Do something else. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not that hard to figure out. I guess people are just too worried about money, too money obsessed.
Like, hey, I think you shorted me $50 last month. Good luck with that. This is not going to happen. But I do wonder if they're underreporting now to err on the side of caution or whatever, or more insidiously, if they're underreporting so they don't have to pay out as much. Because if you can save millions and millions of dollars just hypothetically speaking, just again, I don't know if this is going on or not. I'm just saying, if you said, hey, everybody's getting 10% fewer views, 20% fewer views than they were, and it's an algorithm change. But in reality, they were getting those views, but you don't want to pay them. So you're saving 10, 20% on every creator across the board, and that's going to add up to record profits, right? You're going to push shorts because shorts, you don't have to pay out as much, and you still get the watch time, and to the advertisers, a view's a view, right? So you can charge these advertisers the same amount of money, run them on shorts, and not have to pay creators as much. Because frankly, the YouTube creator program was ushered in under a different era, and it is too good of a deal. I think in a lot of ways. And I'm saying this as a creator. The YouTube creator program deal, as it stands right now, would never be ushered in under today's, in today's economy, right? When they did that, YouTube was still relatively young. They were trying to be fair. They were trying to attract and retain.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to be doing something about that. They're going to make it way harder for people to get on. They're going to make it way less money for people. Unless you're really, really big, they're going to make it more. And then it's really going to separate people even more and even more. And what's going to happen, though, is they're going to see people on other platforms and they're going to be like, hey, move on over here. And that's probably where the culture is going with that. And in that instance of a creator program.
Talent to the platform. But now that YouTube is like the biggest streamer TV thing on the internet, they would never offer that kind of a deal. Like, we're going to give you half of the ad revenue. What are you smoking, right? So I am waiting for the other shoe to drop. And this is just speculation on my part. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for them to renegotiate the deal Darth Vader style. And
you know what's going to happen? Probably nobody's going to do anything about it. They're still going to just stick with YouTube unless they're completely kicked off the platform.
Drop everyone down to like 20% or something. Or,
whatever, man.
15%.
Whatever.
Which means that, people that are hypothetically speaking, people that are making $10,000 now going to make $5,000 or $4,000. And they're going to renegotiate.
It's coming. It's coming. They're gonna drop that revenue.
Negotiate the terms, because I'm pretty sure they have a right to do that. That'll be the next thing. And I'm kind of trying to brace myself for that, because I'm like, yeah, you cannot depend
it's inevitable
on YouTube ad revenue as your sole.
Do not be reliant.
Source of income. I mean, we have other stuff going on, but we've had 2 other businesses get completely effed over by recent Google decisions. And so we kind of had a heads up on this because we know how they operate, right? And it is about maximum profit for the company. That's basically it. And I know it's a really crass comparison, but I keep telling people, I said, if you're a YouTuber and you depend almost entirely on YouTube, you're basically an employee of YouTube. You're not even an employee. You're basically a sharecropper. Like you're working Google's land, and hopefully they'll give you some money for it, right? And you're sharing the profits. But
somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to fill that need, because there's definitely a need for it. And if YouTube doesn't do it, somebody else will do it. They're already doing it. Rumble's already doing it. It's not very much. They're not doing it very well. But if YouTube ain't doing it, then it's going to get better over there at Rumble and other platforms.
I think that's going to, my personal feeling is that is going to end pretty soon. But I think we're going to see a lot of layoffs in tech over the next 6 months. I'm not sure.
I think we're going to see more big people getting banned for very small stuff. Kind of like how it's going on at Twitch right now.
Sure what the other side of this is going to look like. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I talked to Geeky about this. I've been working in tech since, if you count me doing web development for radio stations and stuff, late 90s. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, I ain't never seen nothing like this. That's all I'm saying. Like, I have not, and I don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to crash.
Gonna be completely honest. And people are going to be like, oh my God, but I have no idea.
We're about to see a tech future for a little while where AI and robots are going to replace humans. It's coming. That's what is the next step for a little while. And we'll probably end up going to war with those robots.
I think that I would say we're going to get rid of bloat, but I think there's going to be a massive overcorrection. I think they're going to be over-reliant on AI, and they're going to fire a lot.
And then they're going to bloat the AI. The AI is going to bloat everything, and then the AI is probably going to need other AI to help the AI build more AI. And it's going to get out of fucking control, dude. We're getting to the cyberpunk territory.
People that knew how to make things go and then they're going to leave and they're not going to come back. They're gonna be like, well, I'm taking my institutional knowledge with me and you guys can go fuck yourself. That's what I think is ultimately going to happen. But yeah, that's big news. I mean, for YouTube to say, hey, we're going to buy you out.
And by the way, with all the current culture that we've got going on with these corporations getting worse and worse and worse, getting bigger and bigger at the same time, doing these mass layoffs, seeing record profits, you're going to start seeing people being like, the writing's on the wall for me. All it's going to take is one of these giant corporations for everybody to walk out at the same time and protest. And then they're all going to do it. And it's going to be a domino effect. And then you're going to start seeing corporations just start collapsing left and right. And it's going to cause such chaos in the world, dude. And it's going to be so bad that governments aren't going to be able to bail them out. Because if they try and touch it, they're going to end up collapsing with the collapsing corporations. It's going to get real fucking weird. It's going to get real weird.
That means things are going to change dramatically.
And the reason I know that, because that is the most sci-fi shit that I could think of. And usually the sci-fi shit happens
at YouTube. So I'm going to point you in the and this is all, everything that's happened in the last year or two has been a precursor to this, by the way. This is what the end goal was. They probably have a 5-year plan, and all these changes, these very unpopular with creator changes that they're making, it's all about chasing Hollywood and chasing maximum revenue for YouTube. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, right now Hollywood's done for, and everybody's scrambling to try and replace what it once was with something new. And all it's going to be is just another fucking Hollywood. Like, I don't get it. That is a weird hole that does not need to be filled. But you know, Hollywood likes to fill weird holes.
Donate to the PayPal.